The Oklahoma City Thunder have won their last 11 regular season games and 15 of their last 16, and they are riding a hot streak right now from Shai Gilgeous Alexander, where he has been on fire as of late. Now, he already averages like 30 a game, but he's up to 33, 34 a night during this stretch, making a case for the MVP, and the OKC Thunder are the hottest team in basketball, riding that number 1 ranked defense. They also have a top 10 ranked offense, and their lone kryptonite this year has been the three-point shooting. Now, they haven't had Chet for quite some time, but Shai Gilgeous Alexander has been stepping up his three-point percentage as of late. They've also got Isaiah Hartenstein filling in very nicely for Chet, but Chet makes his team a whole nother monster. On the year, he averages 16.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, as well as 2.6 blocks per game. And that looks like a really impressive stat line, because it is, especially for a 7-footer. But when you take into account that he only plays 26 minutes and shoots over 50% from the field and 38% from 3, it becomes even more ridiculous. Per 36 minutes, he averages 22.3 points per game, 11.8 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks. And as I said, he's a 7'1" monster with a 7'6" wingspan. It's ridiculous. He's a great rim protector. He anchors this number 1 defense, or he did through the first 10 games of the season. He's been out since then, and they're still the number 1 defense, and he's doing stuff like this, which makes him a unicorn. And once he gets back out there, I think this opens up their offense so much more, and it improves their offense from, fringe top 10 to a legit top 5 offense in the league. They are 8-2 with Chet Holmgren on the floor, 16-3 without him on the floor. So one, that speaks to their depth and the additions of guys like Hartenstein, but it also speaks to how well Shai has been playing without Chet on the court. 31 points a game, 6.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds, 1.2 steals, and 2 blocks so far this year. And he's doing that while shooting over 50% from the field. 34% from 3 on 6.2 attempts, and I think he's MVP caliber for sure. When he gets to his spot in the mid-range, he's dangerous, and he's doing this to guys like the Great Barrier Thief. So on top of him being top 3 in the world at scoring in the half court, now he's pulling up and hitting threes. Over his last few games, he has been really good at knocking down the 3 ball. You got Jay Huff here, who's playing hedge defense. Well, not really hedging. If he was hedging, he'd be up here more. He's kind of in drop coverage, just kind of in between, waiting for Scottie Pippen Jr. to get back. And then he drops way too far, right? If Shai's hitting this shot now, it's going to be so tough to stop him because the defender's in drop. And right now, even the Thunder are small ball, so Kendrick Williams can just pop over there, and you still put Jay Huff in a bind. But that's besides the point, because Shai Gilgeous Alexander is now knocking down the 3 ball. Over his last 21 games, so without Chet Holmgren on the floor, he's averaging 33 points per game, 6.2 assists, 5 boards, and 2.2 steals, which is a really impressive stat line. That's an MVP caliber stat line. It's ridiculous. 54% shooting from the field, but he's shooting 37% from 3 on 5 attempts. Now, over his last 8 games, he's averaging 34.3 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2.6 steals, and 2 blocks. A rare two-way superstar that is also shooting almost 40% from 3. 39%! He's also shooting 56% from the field. Shai Gilgeous Alexander, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 8 games has been unguardable. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that is you, go ahead and fix that. Also, go ahead and check out the football channel as well. Now, let's take a look at the genius of not only Sam Presti, but of Mark Daigneault with some of the sets that he draws up. This is another really smart set by Mark Daigneault, right? So originally they're just going to set this screen here to throw the flare for Shai, kind of follow action. It's what we're seeing more of in the modern NBA, right? So Jay Huff would have to go over there and help out, and then you'd have the mismatch you want. So instead, what happens is Jake LaRavia, gets through that screen pretty well, but due to the fact that he got a shooter here and Aaron Wiggins that shoots like 50% from 3 this year, and then you've got Cason Wallace here, who's a decent enough shooter, but he's still 1 pass away, so you can't be too far over and help, because if you skip it, then that's a baseline drive and you're cooked, right? So what's going to happen here is Shai's just going to cut back door, and there's going to be no help at all, because, well, there just can't be, right? He doesn't come over in time. Luke Kennard's all the way over here, and that's the easiest bucket Shai gets all night. This is a nice little sideline out of bounds play here by Coach Mark Dagnall to get this team going, right? They're down 9-0, so we're going to enter it into Jalen Williams, and then just a little down screen by Isaiah Hartenstein, right? Jaren's all the way down here in the paint, so he's not really helping at all with this screen because Lou Dort is cutting through. Can't let him have a free run at the basket. So as this is happening, great defense here by Scottie Pippen Jr., but he doesn't let him come above the screen, which is what they want, maybe like a little dribble handoff here. Instead, he goes under the screen, slips it right to the nail, and now he's got a one-on-one with Jaren. And Jaren's a good defender, but anybody one-on-one with Shai at that spot is probably going to lose. At this point, Shai just decides to pull up and knock it down, and that's pretty easy. We talked about it earlier. The pick and roll between Hartenstein and Shai is so dangerous. They don't even have Chet back. He's over there somewhere. But this time we're going to get into a little horns action, which is where two guys at the top set the screen. Normally there'd be a guy over here in this corner, but Kenrich Williams is a little late. This is an early set, right? Early in the possession. So Shai's going to come off this. Isaiah Joe's going to pop, and then eventually Hartenstein's going to roll, but he's going to set a little rub screen here, I believe, that's Cam Spencer, as Shai Gilgeous Alexander is coming off this screen, right? So not great communication because both Isaiah Hartenstein and Shai Gilgeous Alexander are all open really on this set. Nice job of Jake LaRavia this time being in help side. It looks like Kenrich Williams is coming to set a little flare screen against him, or maybe he's just kind of wandering around over there. Yeah, he's setting a flare screen. So really, they had Joe open. They have the pocket pass here to Hartenstein. The first option is Shai scoring. You have the flare screen here to Wiggins, and eventually what's just going to happen is he drops it off. Simple pick and roll action for the dunk, and that's what makes that two-man game so dangerous. We've made a video on it before, but this two-man game right here is one of the highest rated in the history of the league. Between Hartenstein, who shoots over 50% from, in here, he shoots like 70% on his floaters, and then Shai, one of the most unguardable guys in the half court. So you've got this pick and roll here. First, there was a screen by Isaiah Joe to take away Scottie Pippen Jr., and then Joe's just going to pop, and then you get into the pick and roll because now you have a mismatch, right? And now they're going to be attacking Jaren Jackson Jr., who, yes, he's a good defender, but it's really tough because as Conchar comes over the top here, now Shai is getting downhill, and so is Hartenstein. So you've got the lob and you got the drive. It's really tough to take away. It's a really good set by Mark Dagnall, and that's what makes these two so good because they complement each other so well. But yeah, this Thunder team right now is clicking on all cylinders, winners of 11 in a row, and I can only imagine how good they will be when Chet Holmgren gets back to action. He should be back before long. I mean, he's been out for over 20 games now, so that's a couple of months. But yeah, Shai has been on another level. As I mentioned, he's not doing this to bums. He's doing this to guys like the Great Barrier Thief, Dyson Daniels, one of the best, well, statistically the best on-ball defender in the league this year. And yeah, anchored by that number one defense, this Thunder team is thriving, and they don't even have their best rim protector yet, who also, I think, will make them a top 5 offense. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.